Shalom Akim. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Yahweh honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And today's lesson is going to be based upon this quote. Today's lesson is going to be based upon this quote from one of my favorite movies, Jarhead, and it's known as actually the Rifleman's creed, I believe. You know, and this guy was actor Jake Gyllenhaal. I forgot his actual name in the movie, but he played a Marine. And if you didn't know, a Marine is also known as a jarhead. You know, because a jar is empty. Originally, it's empty, and it's filled up with whatever you put in it. And another thing about the Marines is that a Marine is known as a proud patriot, a proud American, a strong, a strong selected few that's chosen to fight for his country. And this is the sentiment, or this is the thinking of the average Karen or average Joe out there, which is understandable, because we understand in Genesis this is their place of rulership, and the scriptures also say that they were ruled by the sword. That's how they would get everything. Genesis 27:40. Actually, I'll just grab that. Okay. Genesis 27:40 says, this is Esau's blessing. When he begged for that blessing from Isaac, this is actually, I'll start at Genesis 27:37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do unto thee, my son? And the him that Isaac is talking about is Jacob. Jacob today will be known as your so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heavens from above. So Esau didn't give a damn what he received. He just wanted something. And mind you, when you read up above, he was saying, what should I give thee? I gave your brother the best. I gave your brother the best rewards. He received the best blessings. But nevertheless, he said, and by thy sword, this is verse 40 now, Genesis 27:40, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Okay? Meaning you're going to get everything by the sword, by force. And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Because in the time of King David, we had dominion over him. But as we see to this very day, he broke that yoke. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, going to prove that Esau wasn't even sustaining what he got, which goes into the book of Habakkuk, that he cannot be satisfied and is as death. Because the grave is never satisfied. You could bury 1 billion people, but the grave, the body will decompose, and then what? The land, or you can bury a billion more, and the land will still replenish and still be able to grow and stuff like that. So that's what it means that Esau is as death. He's as hell. And it says, Genesis 27:41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay? So with that sentiment, that's where you get Esau's mind frame. Now we can understand how Esau thinks. All right, and as I said, this goes hand in hand with the I believe it's called the Rifleman's Creed or Marine's Creed. All right, it says, "This is my life. There are many like Slakia. This is my rifle. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My rifle is my best friend. It is my life. Without me, my rifle is nothing. Without my rifle, I am nothing." Okay? So, without that blessing, Esau is nothing. Okay? If Esau didn't have the gun, and he just, went straight up with the hands with Jake, 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 he would lose. Unless he was an Israelite. But this is why Esau, like I was watching this guy Tariq Nasheed earlier, and he was playing this woman who, I guess she was walking through some type of Walmart or something like that, a parking lot, and Esau, seeing her, this Jake woman, the so-called black woman, he's seeing her, but still, backed up, in a way to try to hit her. So she put out a camera, and I guess she tried to confront, the people that was in the car that was about to hit her. So this devil, knowingly in the wrong, gets out the car, all right, and pulls a gun out on her. And this is what Esau does. He's wrong, and he knows he's wrong. He'll do a whole bunch of wickedness, but because he has that gun, and you're not going to lunge at a person with a gun, he feels like, okay, even if I did wrong, I'm still right. All right? This is my law. This is my rule of law. Okay? And this is why Esau has to come down with great wrath, because he's seeing that a lot of people is not going to go with his plans. So he's going to forcefully chip people. All right? And if you're not with it, he's going to put you to death. This is how Esau moves. All right? And as I was thinking about this lesson, I was thinking about when the tables turn. Because little do people know, as they feel like things are going to continue to go as they were, that Esau's going to continue to have the upper hand, that Jake is going to continue to basically have that trembling spirit, because that's what it is. When somebody constantly has a gun pointed at you, all right, you're in the trembling spirit at all times. This is why most Jake are afraid to get pulled over, because, you think that's your life right there. Okay? But according to the curses, or according to the blessings that the Lord is going to bring upon us eventually, he speaks about how he's going to take this man's yoke up off of our neck. Because this devil, which, I'm going to just grab that. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down." And when you go into the book of Revelations, the 11th chapter, I want to say around the 11th or the 12th verse, how did the Lord disappoint him? By putting a spirit upon, his prophets, his 2 witnesses, Jacob and Ephraim, or as the scriptures sometimes call it, Israel and Judah. All right, Judah representing the so-called blacks, the so-called blacks, Haitians, and West Indians, and Israel or Ephraim represents the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. Okay, so the Lord is disappointing them now by bringing His prophets out, thus bringing the understanding to the Bible. All right, and the understanding of prophecy. All right, who the so-called white man is today, who they are today, who these other nations are today, history as it pertains to the scriptures, and also prophecy as it pertains to the scriptures. Now it says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down," as the scriptures say. I will in the book of Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians 2, it says, "I will destroy him with the spirit of my mouth, and then by the brightness of my coming." Okay, so this is how the Lord is casting him down, by the spirit of His mouth, and then eventually, as we're going to read, by His coming. Okay, so it says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Okay, because Esau is the Lord's sword. This is why it was set up in the spirit that he will receive the blessing of living by the sword. All right, he was set up to bring punishment upon Israel, but as the scriptures say, how our punishment is accomplished, and we see that because of the prophecies is happening. All right, the RFID chip. All right, His people waking up, the elect of His people waking up, and World War III. In which case, in that particular time, in that last prophecy in World War III, after all the other things I named come to pass, hey, He's gonna come in and receive us. All right, and then that's when we hold the gun, so to speak. All right, which is not going to be a physical gun, because we're going to receive spiritual powers. And I'm not going to grab it, but in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, I want to say 5 and 15, it says that he's going to use the creature as the weapon, as his weapon. So like, I'm trying to find the book of Baruch. The book of Baruch, Salakia. 1 second, Akim. I think it's before Tobit. I'm mistaken. Where's Tobit? Just had it. You know how I go. When you're doing a lesson, you can't find a precept. Bear with me, Akim. Nah, I just grabbed it on my phone. Okay, the Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. This is Baruch chapter 4, verse start at 25. Baruch chapter 4. Actually, I'll start at 4:24. Like as now thy neighbors of Sion have seen your captivity, so shall thou see shortly, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting. My children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from God, for thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction, and shalt tread upon his neck. Okay, and that's what we're patiently waiting for. Okay, the scriptures say what? Revelations 13:9. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, for this is the hope and the patience of the elect. So it says, my delicate ones have gone rough ways, and were taken away as a flock caught out of the enemies. Caught of the enemies. Okay, Esau took us by the by the multitudes into slavery and cargo slave ships. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto God, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you. For as it was your mind to go astray from God, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Okay? And we believe that. We believe that Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, okay, he put us in slavery. So as he did what he said as far as putting us in slavery, he's going to do the same as far as taking us out. It says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort you. Okay? That's why you can't, it's not profitable to call yourself black. The Most High is not coming to save black people. He's not coming to save Puerto Ricans. He's coming to save Israelites. Okay? It says, miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is he that received thy sons. Because the scriptures say, and I want to say Exodus 21:16, it says, if a man steal a man, if the stolen man be found in a thief's hand, that thief shall surely be put to death. So it says, miserable are the cities which thy miserable are the cities which thy children served. Okay, Colombia is named after Cristobal Colon. Cristobal Colon, all right, otherwise known as Christopher Columbus. All right, and many other cities, man. Dominican Republic. All right, I believe it's actually named after a friar or a priest, a Roman Catholic priest by the name of Saint Dominic. All right, actually the capital of the Dominican Republic is what? Santo Domingo. Okay, which also goes into sun worshiping. Okay, it says, Pennsylvania is known as William Penn. Goes back into William Penn. And all these nations where these cities have taken us, as it says in Psalm 49:11, they name these cities after their own names. Okay? So, it's evident who our oppressors are. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. Whereas America looked at other places as a third world country, now this place is becoming a third world country. Okay, infightings, wars, race wars. Okay, poverty. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. Because this place, according to Revelations, the 18th chapter, okay, 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, what else? Joel, I believe, Joel 2, Joel 3, okay, this place is going to be inhabited by desert creatures for a long time. Revelations 9 tells us that 200,000, which is 200 million missiles, is going to hit America. It says, O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God. Because when Yahushua comes back, he's going to hit the east first, mess Esau up, fuck Esau up, and then come and save us before those missiles hit. Lo, thy sons come, Salakia, lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east to the west, as it says in Isaiah 11, that the Lord is going to gather us from all, from four corners of the earth. by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of God. And this is why in all four corners of the earth we're preaching the word of the Heavenly Father. Going back into what? 2 Thessalonians. By the spirit of his mouth, and then by the brightness of his coming. Okay? So this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33. The point is in 18, but I'll probably start at I want to start at 15. Actually, I'll start at 10, and I'm gonna jump down to 15. So this is Isaiah chapter 10, 33 verse 10. Now will I rise, and Yahweh. Now will I rise, saith Yahweh. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift up myself. Because Yahweh is going to send his son Yahweh Shai. Alright. As I just quoted in Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 15. He's going to use his men. As he used Esau for his sword, he's also going to use his son, his only begotten son, and the prophets as his swords. Now will I rise, saith Yahweh. Now will I be exalted. Now will I lift up myself. Yea, ye shall conceive chaff. Ye shall bring forth stubble. Your breath as fire shall devour you. Verse 12, I'll probably read through. And the people shall be as the burning of lime, as thorns cut up, shall they be burnt in the fire. Okay, them nuclear missiles, man. That heat is known as was actually known as thermonuclear missiles. Anything thermal is considered hot. Okay. As a matter of fact, when you do the research, when you just do simple Google search, not much, strenuous research, it goes into how those missiles, when they hit, that heat is like, I want to say, they say it's like 90 to 100 million degrees Fahrenheit, and that's way hotter than the sun. So just imagine when the missiles hit you. That's why it says in Zechariah 14 and 12 that your flesh is going to consume. Your flesh is going to be consumed. So it says, hear ye that are far off what I have done, and ye that are near acknowledge my might, and they will know the might of Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's why in the book of mentioned 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, which brothers could check that out on their own. It goes into when Yahweh Shai returns, he's going to be destroying them nations, without really even lifting a finger, man. He's going to be in them chariots, destroying those other nations that's fighting in the Valley of Jehoshaphat in the Middle East, man. Okay, when they come together to fight each other. That's why we pray for this destruction, because at Esau's downfall is our uplifting. So it says, now I want to skip down to verse 15. He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shaketh his hand from holding of bribes. Alright, the actual prophets that's out there pushing the word in truth, sincerity. Alright, not taking bribes, not taking breaks. Okay, but pushing the truth. Whether they hear or whether they forbear, whether they like it or don't. Alright, the McNasty and all of that. That shaketh his hands from holding of bribes, that stoppeth his ears from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil. And that's really only a small few. Alright, the Lord's small sanctuary. He shall dwell on high, his place of defense shall be the munition of rocks, Bread shall be given him, his waters shall be sure. Thine eyes shall see the king in his beauty, Yahweh shall's return. They shall behold the land that is very far off. Thine heart shall meditate terror. Okay? So now the tables is going to turn. Okay? Now, the Lord is going to be the Lord is going to he's going to boast in our strength as Esau boasts in his strength. Oh, I got ICBM nuclear missiles. We got drones. We got heat-seeking missiles. The Most High is going to boast in us, man. He's going to give us that power. This is Revelations 2 in verse 26. All right. Again, talking about that selected few. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron. Okay, because you got to remember, if a person is ruling for a long period of time, he's inevitably going to see those under him. He's always going to see those under him as his slaves. So in order for us to gain respect, all right, we're going to have to beat it into Esau. Just as Esau beat our nationality out of us and his ways into us, that's going to be the same way. All right, when the tables are turned. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I received of my father. And I will give him the morning star. All right, Yahweh Shai. And he that have an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Okay, this is the book of Deuteronomy. I'm just going to go through these precepts because I don't want to make this lesson too long. Deuteronomy chapter 30, which I'll just jump straight to the point. All right, and actually a quick synopsis. It says, great mercies promise upon the repentant. The commandments is manifest. Death and life are set before them. Okay, so this is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 3. Then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, as we read in Baruch 4, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh thy power have scattered thee. This is after, of course, we turn into the Heavenly Father, which we're doing right now. If any of thine be driven out, the outmost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And Yahweh thy power will bring thee into a land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do good, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. And Yahweh thy power will circumcise thine heart, and the heart of thy seed, to love Yahweh thy power with all thine heart. That's the second covenant that the Most High is going to give us. That he's going to put his heart he's going to put his laws, statutes, and commandments within us, so that we would inherently want to do good. All of Israel. And with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. Eventually, the 2/3, which we preach that 2/3 is going to die, but eventually they're going to come back, and they're going to learn righteousness from a kid. They're only going to know righteousness. They're only going to have learned and grew up learning righteousness from the elect that make it on this side. So it says, in Yahweh thy power will circumcise thine heart, and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy power with all thine heart. This is Deuteronomy 30:6. And with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And Yahweh thy power will put all these curses upon thy enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecute thee. And what's one of the curses? Okay, in Leviticus 20, 26 and 17. It says, and I will set my face against you, and ye shall be slain before your enemies. They that hate you shall reign over you, and ye shall flee when no slack, and ye shall flee when none pursueth thee. Okay? So when Yahushua comes back, okay, the Lord is going to be looking at you just like how you look at us. He's going to swing his sword and boast in his power, just as you boast in yours. So with that, shalom to the elect.